We have many wartime allies that we served alongside with, especially in Afghanistan, like my brother Aziz, who I did all my deployments with, who's right here in this crowd. And I'm thankful for him and our wartime allies that served alongside of us. Like many warriors before us, I came home and struggled with many of the same experiences. I dealt with debilitating panic attacks, anxiety, depression, and it almost cost me everything, to include my family and a personal battle with becoming another veteran suicide statistic. There are a lot of things that played a role in my recovery. Friends, family, getting active again, but nothing was more profound than the restoration of my faith and committing my life to Jesus. The Marine Corps calls this our spiritual pillar. It is the foundation of our pillars of resiliency. And through that decision, I found restoration, I found hope, and I found purpose. And when I came to a place of clarity, I looked back to Foster Harrington and others like him. And I thought about their lives, and I thought about their sacrifice. I became both convicted and challenged to live my life to the absolute fullest and live it with purpose. To not mourn their death, but embrace the life and freedoms that they died for. That's part of being here with you today. Passing on the lessons from one generation of Marines to the next, 250 years in and still going. Life as a Marine is hard, but being a Marine is special because it is hard. As a Marine, you'll be asked to do hard things. But when it gets hard, you can always look back and remember those who came before you. We have an incredible heritage of legends like Foster Harrington to learn from. Those who challenge us to dig in when we're called to do the impossible. And respond with the words we read in Scripture from Isaiah 6:8. When asked, who shall I send and who will go for us? And I responded, here am I, send me. Marines and sailors, never in my lifetime, and I've been around this gun club for 30 years now, never in my lifetime have we been more supported by leadership from the top. You have a president and vice president who love you, believe in you, and I can tell you from being in D.C., behind the closed curtains, they're doing everything they can to support you. You have a Secretary of War, and by the way, I love that Secretary of War. I don't know if everybody else feels the same way, but I don't like being on defense. I like being a war fighter, but we have a Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who I love, by the way, but based on his PT scores, I think he should have been a Marine. I don't know why he chose to be in the B team, but nonetheless, we love him. He's an incredible leader, and he is focused on our readiness, our lethality, and supporting you to do your jobs. We are blessed and equipped, and this is a time to celebrate. So happy 250 years of being part of the greatest fighting force the world has ever known, the United States Marine Corps. Semper Fidelis, God bless you. Hoorah!
You can only pick one branch. Which one do you pick? Marines, 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 Marine, Marines, Marine, Marines, and of course, Semper Fidelis. Yes, Semper Fidelis. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome retired U.S. Navy SEAL Commander, best-selling author, Jocko Willink.
Marines, I want to let you know that I consider you to be my brothers. And I want to tell you why that is. First of all, because I grew up in the SEAL teams down in Coronado. We came up here and worked with Marines all the time throughout my career. I did workups right here at Camp Pendleton, did hydrographic reconnaissance on Red Beach. Yeah, hiked up Fulton Canyon, launched boats out of the Del Mar Boat Basin, get some. And worked with the Marines back then. That's when I first learned about the professionalism and the expertise of the Marine Corps. But when the war started, I had the honor of seeing Marines in action, real action. I saw with my own eyes the glory that is the Marine Corps. Now, it was the 3-8 Marines, Lima Company, that showed us the ropes when we got to Ramadi. They taught us the tactics that they were using. They briefed us on how the enemy fought. They took us on patrols to familiarize us with the AO. We also learned from Kilo Company that was down at the Gov Center, where they were fighting daily gun battles with insurgents. And there is no doubt, the lessons that we learned from those Marines made us more lethal and kept us alive. It's not only what they taught us. On many occasions, Marines aggressively answered the call and provided QRF and fire support that crushed the enemy and got my SEALs out of some pretty rough spots. And we, in the SEAL teams, will never forget that. We also conducted countless operations with Anglico. We patrolled streets with them. We cleared buildings with them. We set up sniper overwatch positions with them. And they were outstanding Marines in every respect. This was a tough deployment. Soldiers and Marines were wounded and killed in Ramadi every day. We were fighting against a demonic and determined enemy. Who was a complete stud. And when we got there, we discovered that he would not be alone on that journey. Because earlier that same morning, Corporal Joe Thompson, 4th Platoon, Lima Company, 3-8 Marines, one of the outstanding Marines who had taught us how to effectively fight this battle, he was killed by an IED while he was on patrol in North Ramadi. So, we, SEALs and Marine, together, bonded by blood as brothers, we stood side by side and loaded those two fallen warriors onto a Marine Corps CH-46 for their last flight home. And many more brave souls made the ultimate sacrifice on that brutal battlefield. and we will never forget them. And that is one of the reasons why I consider Marines to be my brothers. But there is another reason. And the other reason is actual brotherhood. Because you see, Mark Lee, the first SEAL killed in Iraq, his brother, Chris Lee, he was a Marine. And Ryan Job, one of my other SEALs in Ramadi, who was shot in the face, was gravely wounded, and who later died of his wounds, his brother, Aaron Job, he was a Marine. And finally, Michael Mansour, another SEAL with us in Ramadi, who jumped on a grenade and sacrificed his life to save 3 of our other teammates, who was posthumously awarded the Medal of Honor. Well, Mikey Mansour's father, George, was a Marine who served in Vietnam. And Mikey's 2 brothers, both of his brothers, Joe and Jim, they're also Marines. And that is why it is an honor to be here today. That is why it is an honor to call you all my brothers. And that is also why I know that despite all the people that fear the rise of evil in the world, despite all the people that are concerned about the future of freedom, and despite all the people that are concerned about the fate of our great nation, I can tell you this: I am not concerned at all. Because I know that no matter what happens, there are some men, there are a few good men and women called Marines. And I know that you will never back down. I know that you will never surrender. I know that you will uphold the ideals of this blessed country. And I know that with fire and steel and sweat and blood, you, every one of you, will uphold the heroic ideals of the United States Marine Corps. And that's what I got, Devil Dogs. Happy birthday, guns up, Semper Fi!
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the video screens for the world premiere and exclusive release of the full 250th birthday message from the 39th Commandant and 20th Sergeant Major of the United States Marine Corps.
Since the birth of the Corps, we have answered the call. Through every battle, every climb, in every place. No matter the odds, no matter the obstacle. We adapt, we overcome, and close with and destroy the enemy. We know the future will not be the same, but the one thing we know will always remain is the Marine. 250 years, we have formed ranks and held the line. And we will for the next 250.
Marine Corps is a far-flung organization. Detachments of Marines are serving in every Navy yard, naval station, and guarding every naval activity everywhere else in the world. I visited a great many of those places. Everywhere I heard expressions of goodwill towards the Marines. Everywhere I observed the friendly relations existing between the people and the Marines.
For 2.5 centuries, we have shouldered the responsibility of freedom on behalf of our nation. Every battle fought, and every sacrifice made has been etched into our legacy.
We're Marines. We always find a way to work things out. No matter what happens anywhere, we can make something happen that'll turn the tide of battle.
We are that adaptable to whatever the situation is. We trust our corporals with more responsibility, our lieutenants with more responsibility, our lieutenant colonels with more responsibility than any other branch of service, because we do more with less. There's no other branch that can do that.
It's by far the greatest institution still in my mind on the face of the planet, because not everybody can be a Marine. You have to earn the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor. And I think that's what attracts the type of people that the Marine Corps has.
Every Marine who has earned the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor bears a responsibility that stands the test of time to the Marines, past, present, and future.
We don't join the Marine Corps. We are the Marine Corps. Core of our being is that we're convinced we're the best fighting force in the world, and the truth is, we are.
I believe the immediate bond between Marines is so strong just because of the way we're trained. We have a very specific niche culture of, greatness, our heritage, our warrior ethos. I think all those things, separate us, and we find them in each other.
You may have a reason why you join, but there's a reason why you stay. You stay because of everything you're learning about how to be a warrior, how to maintain those warrior ethics, so that when that bomb goes off, you're ready to do your part.
As Marines, our warrior mindset is something that can never be defeated. For 250 years, the Marine Corps has been successful because that's the only option. Success is all we know.
The character of war has and will continue to change. We have adapted, evolved, and innovated, but our warrior spirit remains consistent.
The nature of war is taking something that somebody else has that you want, and it's never changed, probably never will change. The character of war, however, has changed a lot. World War II, we used ships, planes, bombs. All the way to today, we use, as you can tell by the news, we use ships, planes, bombs. We just have a lot better technology.
I don't know that one battlefield's ever been the same for any generation. The types of war, the ways of war, all that is constantly going to be changing. What's going to decide our next and our future wars is not going to be the technology, it's not going to be money, it's going to be the level of the belief of our people, of what they believe in, and the standards that they hold themselves to.
We are more lethal, more capable, and more ready than ever, while grounded in the traditions that made us who we are. We will not win the next fight on platforms alone. It is the Marine who will break the will of the enemy.
As Marines, I believe the most powerful aspect of our training and such an important part of who we are, holding on to that history that came before us. The Marine Corps is lethal because of our willingness and our eagerness to take the fight to the enemy in any climb or place and win those battles, sometimes at any cost.
Our history is not only a story of battles won, it is a story of people, of commitment, of family. An unbreakable bond that transcends ranks and lasts a lifetime.
I think the only way to honor them is to live a life that's worthy of their sacrifices. And the only way that you can do that is by going out and being the best that you can be. by going out and by still upholding those standards as a Marine, by celebrating them, by telling their stories and giving the next generation some legacy to live up to.
Cream rises to the top. And that's what we have in the Marine Corps today. The Marine Corps is the operational Marine Corps. But there's another aspect of the Marine Corps. It's the former Marines or former active duty who are out there in all walks of life. It's amazing when you think of it.
Being in service was a privilege. It was the best time of our lives, but it was a sacrifice. And your family is part of that sacrifice. And Marine wives or Marine spouses, they deserve a lot of credit as well. The kids being uprooted, moving, it's a sacrifice to serve our country.
Without the support of their loved ones and their immediate family, it's hard for them to complete their job. So again, it's so important for military families and Marine Corps families to understand that their role and the role that they play in supporting their loved one while serving is just as important.
For 250 years, we have proven there is no better friend and no worse enemy than a U.S. Marine.
For those people who wish evil upon the greater good, David Bellavia said it best, somebody else will raise your children.
To the enemies of our nation, don't get comfortable. Whether you're in the air, at sea, or on the ground, we adapt. We always have, and we always will.
If it comes down to one-on-one, mano a mano, and you turn us loose, I can promise you this, you're not going to survive.
From our first amphibious landing at Nassau, to the black sands of Iwo Jima, to urban combat in Fallujah, our Corps has come a long way since Samuel Nichols first took command of 2 battalions at Tun Tavern. Though weapons, platforms, and technology continue to evolve, our individual Marines' grit, discipline, resolve remain our decisive advantage.
For 2.5 centuries, Marines have preserved our legacy as America's premier expeditionary force, because we are forward, ready, and lethal. From the moment a Marine earns their Eagle Globe and Anchor, they inherit a rich tradition of honor, courage, and commitment, a legacy that is etched on our souls forever. Our history is one of winning our nation's battle, and make no mistake, we will be called to fight again. We will be ready, and we will win.
Since our foundation, we have fought in every climb and place, upholding our oath and preserving who we are, the few and the proud. But we cannot break stride. We must continue to train for the next fight, because victory will go to those who seize the initiative, impose their will, and never yield. The pursuit of excellence in the profession of arms is our heritage, forged by an unbreakable fighting spirit. The memorial behind us stands as a testament to that fact. We stand on the shoulders of the giants that came before us. We must not fail them. The challenge is on all of us every day to uphold the standard that the title Marine demands.
Happy 250th birthday, Marines. Semper Fidelis.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to acknowledge the exceptional leadership, dedication, and unwavering support provided by Lieutenant General Christian F. Wortman, Commanding General, 1st Marine Expeditionary Force, Vice Admiral John F. Wade, Commander, U.S. 3rd Fleet, and Brigadier General Michael R. Nakanizi, Deputy Commanding General, 1st Marine Expeditionary Force. Today's demonstration of military might and the grit shown by the Marines and sailors participating is a direct result of your leadership, expertise, and steadfast devotion to mission success. The scope of your accomplishment here is unprecedented in this century. The American people can take comfort in our military's readiness to defend the homeland and our nation's interest abroad.
Ever since men and women have walked on the earth, they've dreamed of flying. They wondered what the birds could see that they could not. Even 500 years ago, artist and inventor Leonardo da Vinci dreamed of flight and made drawings of a flying machine. But it wasn't until 1903 that two brothers from Dayton, Ohio, Wilbur and Orville Wright, built a powered airplane and overcame gravity and taught the world to fly. And that's what we're going to do today, Camp Pendleton. We are going to fly! Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls. The 2025 Beach Blast is about to begin. In the next few hours, you're going to see the Navy's precision parachute team, the Leapfrogs. You'll get a close look at the Navy's F-35C Lightning II, the Navy's first stealth fighter. We'll see the EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft. We're going to see one of the most unique aircraft in the world, the tilt rotor, the MB-22 Osprey. We'll see a flag presentation flyby. And also, we'll see the Marines' own F-35 Lightning II right here at the beach at Camp Pendleton. Come on, Marines, let's get some noise going. All of this in the air as we celebrate, as we aviate, and as we commemorate. It's a great day to wave the flag as we celebrate this 250th birthday of the Navy and Marine Corps. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 Beach Blast starts now. Hello, everybody. I'm Rob Ryder. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I am deeply honored to be able to bring you the action this afternoon here at the Beach Blast. In a moment, we're going to see coming overhead the U.S. Navy Leapfrogs. They are the precision parachute team of the United States Navy, all Navy SEALs. And we're going to get a close look at two versions of the United States military's Joint Strike Fighter, the F-35 Lightning II, the C model representing the United States Navy, and the B model that has replaced the AV-8B Harrier II is the Navy's premier, as the Marine Corps' premier short takeoff and vertical landing aircraft. Shortly, if you will look off to your right, you will see a C-130 Hercules from the United States Navy. And aboard are the members of the Leapfrogs. They will be jumping from about 6,000 feet. As they exit the aircraft, they will reach terminal velocity, 120 miles per hour, high and to your right. Just to the north of center point here at the show, there's that C-130. The C-130 Hercules has been around since the mid-1950s and continues to serve our United States military today and the militaries of a number of different countries around the world. Over 2,500 have been built, and they are still coming off the production line new at Lockheed Martin's Marietta, Georgia production facility. Jumpers are away. All of our jumpers originally learned the skill of military free fall as part of the extensive SEAL training pipeline prior to joining the operational SEAL team. SEAL team operators train extensively in tactical parachuting, providing the capability to penetrate denied or contested areas virtually undetected. Though today's demonstration takes place in broad daylight, these missions are typically conducted under the cover of darkness over both land and sea. If you will look carefully, high and above, on the right, 3 parachutists have come together. It's a 3-stack. This daring maneuver begins at approximately 2,500 feet. They will fly their open parachutes into each other. They stacked their canopies vertically. The bottom SEAL then climbs up his teammate's legs, locking legs together and flipping his parachute upside down. This display of teamwork and precision requires the bottom 2 SEALs to hold the formation together with their legs while the top SEAL navigates them to the drop zone. When they reach about 800 feet, the pilot will release, allowing the 2 lower parachutists to separate and accelerate toward the ground at 50 miles per hour before releasing their legs at just 400 feet above the drop zone. You can see that one of the jumpers is upside down, almost directly overhead. Check 1, 2. Now, ladies and gentlemen, high and above, the 2 jumpers are now in a down plane with the American flag. As the flag approaches the ground, we ask that you stand as the official presentation of the colors takes place, represented by members of the Marine Ceremonial Guard. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Chief of Naval Operations, Admiral Daryl Caudle.
All right, well, good afternoon, Camp Pendleton. It is an honor to be here with the warfighters who make Southern California the front line of building, training, and delivering our maritime combat power. We just had a greatest opportunity ever, returning from a world life experience of exceptional amphibious demonstration off the coast. And let me tell you, your Navy Marine Corps team absolutely crushed it. Mr. Vice President, thank you for joining us today, witnessing firsthand the integrated strength of integrated sea power. I'm sure this brought back some vivid memories of your time in uniform. It's great to welcome you back among your Marines. Secretary of War Hegseth, thank you for your steadfast support of our men and women in uniform and your focus on uncompromising standards. You continue to be a tireless blue and green forces. What we witnessed today was not just a demo, but a textbook execution of integrated all-domain warfare. That kind of performance doesn't just happen. It's forged through discipline, training, and a unified commitment to mission success. No other maritime force on Earth can generate and project combat power with this level of speed, scale, and synchronization. Let's give a round of applause to the men and women who made this happen. As your Chief of Naval Operations, I couldn't be more proud to represent this extraordinary team. You embody what it means to be forward, focused, and lethal. Whether you're on the bridge, in the cockpit, in the whale deck, or on the beach, we're all part of a single integrated fight. For over 250 years, it's been this unity between sailors and Marines that has given our nation the decisive edge, from the shores of Tripoli to the waters off the Red Sea. And today, as then, we stand the watch together, delivering maritime dominance and extending American power from sea to shore. In January, the President gave us a clear charge: defend the homeland, deter aggression, project strength through an all-domain integrated force. And that's exactly what we've been doing day in and day out. Across every ocean and every contested region, our Navy Marine Corps team is leading from the front, reassuring allies, restoring deterrence, and responding with precision and resolve when called. And you have just shown the world that American sea power is not just a concept, it's an unmatched capability. And you, all of you, our sailors and Marines, are the competitive edge, the enduring advantage that no adversary can match. Today, we were able to get a glimpse into why the Navy and Marine Corps team operates as a joint force all to itself. You showcase why our amphibious forces remain vital to winning future conflicts. And this is just the beginning of what we can become. We are the operational overmatch. Agile, persistent, and expeditionary, we bring unrivaled combat flexibility, delivering force and options from sea to the fight on our terms and on our timeline. I want to close by thanking all of you and your families for your service, your sacrifice, and your commitment. You make our team what it is. It is an honor to serve with you. Thank you, and Semper Fortis.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Commandant of the U.S. Marine Corps, General Eric Smith.
Hoorah, Marines! Get some! Hoorah! That never gets old, does it? That never gets old. Good afternoon, Marines, sailors, family, friends, Vice President Vance, Secretary of War Hegseth, Secretary of the Navy Phelan, my shipmate, the CNO, elected officials, distinguished guests, far too many to name. What a day. What a perfect amphibious day. And what a sight to behold. What I'm talking about is you. I'm not talking about the equipment, I'm not talking about the ships, I'm talking about you, the Marines, because that's who we are. That's what we're all about. We're about the individual Marine, because that's who wins battles. That's who wins wars. Before I begin, I want to thank those who made today's demonstration possible, especially the phenomenal team here at Marine Corps Base Camp Pendleton and the Marines and sailors of the 1st Marine Expeditionary Force and the 3rd Fleet. From the first aircraft overhead to the final wave on the beach, you showed what American amphibious strength looks like in action. You do not want to be on the receiving end of that bunch of ass whooping. You do not. If you're an adversary, hoorah. If you're an adversary and you want to have your butt kicked, then mess with the Marine Corps, because we'll do it. We'll do it for you. I also want to thank our many distinguished guests and civic leaders for joining us in the celebration this afternoon. You know, if you go to Marine Corps Air Station Cherry Point, North Carolina, or if you go to Marine Corps Air Station New River, it says, "Pardon our noise, that's the sound of freedom." Well, pardon our noise today, that's the sound and look of freedom. That's what it takes to get you free. Thanks as well to our national leadership for standing alongside your Marine Corps as we mark this historic milestone, 250 years young. The first 250. The next 250 are going to be even tougher than the first 250, and there's going to be more fights ahead. But we'll overcome all obstacles because we're Marines. That's what we do. We don't know how to fail. Finally, thank you to our military families whose strength, patience, and sacrifice make everything we do possible. You serve this nation alongside your Marines and sailors, and your support is the foundation of our readiness. For 250 years, our Corps has fought and won our nation's battles. Again, we don't know how to lose. We're Marines. Founded even before our formal independence as a country, we were created as an expeditionary force in readiness, always faithful to the nation we serve. From muskets to missiles, wooden ships to amphibious combat vehicles, and signal flags to satellites, the tools of our trade have changed, but their purpose has not. We remain America's naval expeditionary force, ready to respond and ready to win. Today, we witness the power of the Navy and Marine Corps team through our premier force offering, the Amphibious Ready Group and Marine Expeditionary Unit, employing combined arms to deliver decisive effects and compel the enemy to do our will, to do what we want to have happen, not what they want to have happen. But none of what you saw, the precision fires, the air assault, the seamless integration of firepower, none of that means a thing without the Marine behind it. Without the Marine behind his M4, without the Marine sitting in the vehicle, driving it, without the pilot flying the aircraft. It is all about the Marine. It's all about you. The strength of the MAGTF lies in its Marines. Their warrior ethos and core values strengthen us and sustain us during difficult times. It is the Marine, resolute beneath our nation's flag, who carries the day every time. Honor, courage, and commitment are the living code of a Corps that endures because of uncompromising standards. Standards that guide us in our purpose, unite us in battle, and bind us across generations. From Bellawood to Iwo Jima to Ramadi and Fallujah and Helmand Province, we're still the same. We're a Corps of Marines. We are a band of warriors dedicated to the defense of this nation. The Marines here today are cut from the same cloth as those who seized Tarawa, withstood the cold of Korea, and fought through the streets of Iraq and the mountains of Afghanistan. And the next fight is coming. Trust me, it's coming. Across battlefields, our character has never wavered, just as the nature of war, the clash of wills, the test of fortitude, the demand for discipline remains the same. To our Marines here today and around the world, I could not be more proud of you. Sergeant Major Ruiz and I have the easiest jobs in the Marine Corps. We get thanked every day, and yet you do all the work. Our jobs are easy. Your jobs are hard. We don't pay you enough. You don't have all the equipment that you need, but you still get the job done. Why? Because we're Marines. That's what we do. That's all we do. We do war fighting. We do America's war fighting. You remind us that our power is not found in steel or armaments, but in the faith we keep with one another. You are our most valuable asset. No modernized ship, vehicle, or weapon system can replace the sheer will, determination, or grit of a U.S. Marine. It is you who will close with and destroy the enemy. To locate, close with, and destroy the enemy, or repel the enemy's assault by fire and close combat. Close combat. That's what we do. It is you who will seize the objective and seize the day. It is you who will win our nation's battles. This is why I have absolute confidence in the future of our Corps, today, tomorrow, and for the next 250 years. When the next fight comes, and sadly it will come, Marines will be ready. Ready to fight, ready to win, because that is who we are. That is what we do. It is all that we do. We're warriors. That's all that we do. We are America's crisis response force. We're the 911 force. We're the people who go out the door at 0:30 to get our mission done, to accomplish it on behalf of the American people, to stick a bayonet in the heart of our adversaries, just like we did at Bellawood, just like we did at Bladensburg and Chapultepec and Iwo Jima and Eniwetok and Kwajalein and Quezon and Ramadi and Fallujah. That is who we are as a Corps. Never forget that. Never forget that it is up to you to pass on the Marine Corps to the next generation of Marines who are currently in high school or middle school or grade school or just being born. We owe it to them to pass on our heritage and our legacy, unvarnished, untarnished, and sharp as a razor. That's who we are. That's who we've always been. That's who we will always be. We are America's crisis response force. Don't ever forget that, Marines. Be proud of that Eagle Globe and Anchor that you wear tattooed onto your chest. You earned it. Only you can own it. Only a few, a very few, are capable of earning the title Marine. I'm proud of each and every one of you. Thanks for being here today. Thanks for stepping up to serve when so many couldn't or wouldn't. Thanks for being Marines. Hoorah, Semper Fidelis.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the United States Secretary of the Navy, John
Well, good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. This is an incredible sight. I can't think of anything better than being here with thousands of Marines, sailors, and their families here on Red Beach, celebrating 250 years of the United States Marine Corps, the world's premier expeditionary force. Add to that what we just witnessed, an awesome display of maritime power. It really doesn't get any better. Thank you and well done to every single Marine, sailor, civilian, and partner who made this amphibious demonstration possible. Let's give them a hand. On behalf of President Trump and the Department of the Navy, I want to thank every Marine and sailor across the globe for standing in defense of our nation with honor, courage, and commitment. You carry forward a legacy that began in Tun Tavern in 1775, when a few tough men decided this nation needed a corps of warriors who would always be the first to fight. 2.5 centuries later, that decision still echoes across every battlefield and beachhead where freedom has been tested. Mr. Vice President, thank you for your faithful service and your continued leadership, proving always that once a Marine, always a Marine. Secretary of War Hegseth, thank you for your continued service and for your unwavering advocacy for our sailors and Marines. Thank you as well to the Commandant, CNO, and to our senior Navy and Marine Corps leaders. And to members of Congress, state and local leaders, and distinguished guests, thank you for joining us today and for your continuous support. It is the privilege of my lifetime to stand with you as the 79th Secretary of the Navy, celebrating 2.5 centuries of the United States Marine Corps, the world's finest fighting force. From the frozen hills of Korea to Tripoli, from Belleau Wood to Fallujah, Marines have always been raised for the hardest jobs and entrusted with the most consequential fights. From the beginning, the Corps was built on conviction, on the belief that courage and character are the true measure of a warrior. As Major Doug Zembeck said, be a man of principle, fight for what you believe in, live with integrity, lead from the front, be valorous on the field of battle, and take responsibility for your actions. That is what it means to be a Marine, to live by a code that endures long after the battle ends, to serve with honor, and to stand firm when others falter. For 2.5 centuries, that spirit has carried the Marine Corps through every test and every generation, upholding a promise that when freedom is threatened, America will send its very best. And as Secretary of the Navy, I can tell you that promise is alive and strong. The Navy and Marine Corps team remains unmatched, a global force for peace through strength, ready for any challenge, anytime, anywhere. This legacy begins on the yellow footprints at Paris Island, right here in San Diego, and Quantico. That is where discipline takes root, pride is earned, and character is forged. Those qualities are why when the nation calls, Marines answer. They are why allies trust us and adversaries fear us. The line from those footprints to today's formations is unbroken. Marines carry the same courage forged at Guadalcanal, where the 1st Marine Division, hungry and exhausted, refused to quit and proved that grit and discipline win battles. When others said it could not be done, Marines said, "Watch us." Every generation of Marines has found new ways to fight and new tools to wield. Innovation is not a break from tradition, it is the continuation of it. The character of war is changing rapidly, but the character of Marines remains unshakable. The initiative, ingenuity, and grit that carried this force through every battle must drive innovation in every formation. The future belongs to those who adapt faster than the challenge before them. This is a challenge our Marine Corps and Navy team will win. Lieutenant General Victor Krulak once wrote, "Americans believe when trouble comes to our country, there will be Marines, and that when Marines go to war, they invariably turn in performance that is dramatically successful. Not most of the time, but always. That trust was earned through action on every battlefield in every era by Marines who proved that excellence is not a slogan, but a standard. That conviction has carried Marines through 250 years of hardship and victory. And what we have seen here today proves it still burns bright. The Corps continues to deliver on its promise to the American people, standing as both the ideal and the standard to which the next generations of Americans can aspire. Because when it matters most, it is not technology or equipment that wins the day, but the dependability, decisiveness, and character of the Marine or sailor who wields it. One of our greatest weapons has always been and will always be the United States Marine. As we celebrate 250 years of the United States Marine Corps, we look forward as much as we look back. We honor not just the Marine Corps history, but its spirit, the unbreakable will that defines every Marine who has ever worn the eagle, globe, and anchor. The next chapter will be written by Marines, just like you who fight in new domains, face new challenges, and counter new threats. To every Marine here today, thank you for carrying a legacy 250 years strong. You are the embodiment of Semper Fidelis, always faithful to one another, to the Corps, and to the nation we serve. And behind every Marine is a family, a spouse, a parent, a child who stands the watch with you. They endure the deployments, the moves, the missed birthdays, the late night calls, and the endless goodbyes. They are the quiet strength of the Corps, and today we honor them too. To every Marine family here at Camp Pendleton and around the world, thank you. Your sacrifice makes this legacy possible. Bravo Zulu 3rd Fleet, Semper Fi 1 MEF, happy birthday, Marines. May God bless you. May God bless the United States Marine Corps and Navy team, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you. I hope you have a great day.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage the United States Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth.
How we doing?
Hoorah, Marines! Man, that is beautiful. Let me just say, this might be one of the most beautiful sights I think I've ever seen. In fact, I'm not supposed to say this. I'm really not. But I think you guys might be my favorite. Don't tell anybody. Marines, it's great to see you. It's an honor to be here. Chief, Commandant, Secretary of the Navy, thank you. It's an honor to be at Camp Pendleton. And looking out at these Marines today and the Navy SEALs I had a chance to do PT with this morning, you know, I do PT all around the country now with the troops, and it's turned into Smoke the Secretary. It's clear to me why President Trump says all the time we're the strongest, most powerful, most lethal, and most prepared military on the planet. Because you are that strength. You are that power. You are that lethality. And you are prepared. And President Trump's going to make sure it stays that way. Being here with you is the perfect way to mark 250 years of the beautiful and beloved United States Marine Corps.
President Trump has made our mission clear. We needed clarity, and he provided it. America first, peace through strength, and common sense at every turn. We are the War Department, and you are warriors. The Marine Corps embodies the warrior ethos. You see, when other parts of the department wavered in years past, not anymore, in years past, the Marine Corps stood strong. When other parts of the department wanted to go woke, the Marine Corps stood strong. When other parts of the department wanted to lower standards, the Marine Corps stood strong. You, ladies and gentlemen, are the backbone of the United States military. You always have been, and that's why we're proud to honor you today. 250 years ago, Major Samuel Nichols formed the Continental Marines. The next year, the Marines won the Battle of Nassau, capturing 2 forts from the Brits. Since that day, the very mention of the Marine Corps stirred panic in the hearts of our enemies. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, Marines have been the tip of the spear of our armed forces and the vanguard of the fight for freedom, just as they are right now in the Caribbean. Let's hope the wrong people don't FAFO around there. In the most critical battles our nation has ever faced, it is often Marines, forged by unique traditions and tough-as-nails training, who land first. And they volunteer to put themselves in harm's way. Thanks to the blood and sweat of men who came before you, every American knows the truth of the phrase. It's not just a phrase, it's a way of life for all of you. Semper Fidelis, always faithful. You see, because I look out at this crowd, I see a lot of different types of faces. The truth is, your diversity is not your strength. It never has been. Your strength is in your unity of purpose. It's in your shared mission. It's in your oath to the Constitution. It's the bond that turns individuals into single-minded fighting units. You see, you are set apart. You're not civilians. You're devil dogs, leathernecks, United States Marines. Hoorah! You are set apart for a distinct purpose. You kill bad guys and break things for a living. You close with and destroy the enemy for a living. And as we mark the 250th birthday of the Marine Corps, take a moment and remember where you are in the great American story. Everybody likes to talk about 1776, and that was a pretty important date, but we're not here without 1775. When Americans were willing to stand up and pick up a rifle and say, "We will live free." That spirit lives in all of you. That story includes heroes like Chesty Puller, Daniel Daly, and our own great Vice President and Marine JD Vance. Take pride in that story and continue making yourselves worthy of that legacy. As the Commandant said so beautifully, standards, discipline, accountability, warfighting, lethality, they live in the Marine Corps. We get a chance to see our Commander-in-Chief fight for all of you every single day. I know because I see it. President Trump appreciates your dedication, your valor, your tenacity, the sacrifices you make and the sacrifices that all of your families make. We know no Marine serves alone. They serve alongside a family. Someone else who understands that is Vice President Vance, who is right there alongside President Trump, who he himself has made the same types of sacrifices that you have. Your Vice President enlisted after high school in the Marine Corps and served in Iraq. Your Vice President knows and shares the dedication of this force, and he represents you always in Washington. I have the honor of getting a chance to watch Vice President Vance day in and day out live the values of the Marine Corps, speak up and tell the truth, have courage, stand alongside President Trump. It's an incredible thing to watch. And as I tell every warrior I meet, our president and vice president, they have your back. And I promise you, so do I. Support from the top is all I ever wanted when I was a young infantry lieutenant in Iraq, or in Afghanistan, where my boss actually happened to be a Marine. He was tough, he was brave, and a little bit crazy. But I loved him for it, and I knew he would do anything for me. So on behalf of the Department of War, thank you. Congratulations on 250 years of success, and here's to 250 more. I can say to you, we've got 7 little kids in our stead, not so little anymore, a couple teenagers. Man, I would be proud as a dad if I ever saw one of them put on the uniform of a United States Marine. You serve your country. You make us proud. We have your back. God bless you, God bless our Marines, and may God bless our great republic. Godspeed. Thank you.